We're entering season 5 of my career in Pittsburgh. And in 5 years, I have never heard Mike Tomlin give as much away as he has at the NFL league meetings. What's going on, everybody? I'm Noah Strackbine. Thank you for jumping on to Steelers to Go, your daily to-go cup of Pittsburgh Steelers news and analysis. Find us on youtube.com/All Steelers Talk and subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts. And today, we're talking about how Mike Tomlin has almost openly given away some draft secrets for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And at this point, there's no hiding it. But I don't think there's a reason to hide it. And that's where we should start. Last year, people are going to talk about, oh, well, Kenny Pickett's smoke show. That was needed. The Pittsburgh Steelers couldn't go out there and openly admit that they were interested in Kenny Pickett. Why? Because they had an opportunity to get the first quarterback off the draft board at pick 20 and chose to make sure that no other team knew what quarterback they were interested in. Therefore, people could think, oh, well, the Steelers want Malik Willis. The Steelers want Desmond Ridder. Nobody thought the Steelers wanted Kenny Pickett. So nobody had the pressure to draft Kenny Pickett before them. And they got Kenny Pickett. This year's different. The Steelers have a number of needs with a number of positions that are easily going to go in front of them. They don't need to hide their attraction to a guy like Christian Gonzalez because Christian Gonzalez isn't going to be around at pick 17. You can't hide your attraction to Paris Johnson or DeJuan Jones because there's a chance that both of them are there at 17. But whether the Steelers like them or not, they don't play a position or are in a class like Kenny Pickett was last year where maybe people are overlooking them. Maybe it's not a very impressive class, so there's no need to take them. No, both of these players are first-round picks, if not DeJuan Jones being an early second-round pick. And the Steelers understand, just like the rest of the NFL understands, that there's no need to keep a secret. Because if you like this team and 4 teams ahead of you like this guy, it doesn't change whether he slides to you or not. If they like him and he's the top of their draft board at their pick, he's being chosen. But I still did not expect Mike Tomlin to be as open as he has been at the annual league meetings. The guy has come out and day one, he dropped 2 major hints about the NFL draft. The first being that Patrick Peterson is going to take on a mentorship role and that Mike Tomlin was attracted to this guy in free agency because of that, which immediately sets off the alarms of, oh my gosh, the Steelers are taking a cornerback. All of our beliefs are correct. We knew this from the jump. We called it. The Steelers love their corners. Then he goes out and openly says that they're going to add another safety, whether it's in the NFL draft or free agency. But he also says that Patrick Peterson is going to play safety. So where is the need at safety? Because if Patrick Peterson is already talking about dropping back, you don't want a first-round safety to clog up the mix with DeMonte KZ, a first-rounder, and Patrick Peterson. What you're looking for is a cornerback to learn from Patrick Peterson so that he could take over when Pat P moves to safety. We've connected the dots in years before, but man, has it never been this easy. Ever. And people's immediate thoughts are going to jump out and say, oh, Brian Branch, Jamie Robinson. I think Jamie Robinson is a realistic opportunity here for the Steelers. I think Ji'Ayir Brown out of Penn State is another one, but I don't think Brian Branch goes late enough for the Pittsburgh Steelers to fill that hole properly. What I think it tells us is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are deadlocked in a cornerback at 17 and that they know that they want their guy. And you could believe that their guy is Joey Porter Jr. because as of right now, Joey Porter Jr. is probably the best corner on the board at pick 17. And if he's not, a guy like Deonte Banks has a Mike Tomlin background. A guy like Emmanuel Forbes has impressed everybody. But the Steelers don't care who it is. I take that back. They probably do. But if it's one of their guys, if it's one of their top choices, the Steelers are pinned in at cornerback. At 17, they want somebody who could play on the outside while Patrick Peterson moves around, who could learn from Patrick Peterson, who could work well with Levi Wallace and develop that chemistry for the future. Then in the later rounds, later's a strong word. The second to the fourth round, they want a safety who could come in here, learn from Patrick Peterson, develop with DeMonte KZ, be in the mix because the Steelers want somebody in the mix. They want them to have playing time. They want them to be out there on the field. Patrick Peterson or DeMonte KZ, neither one of them should be the expected starter on week 1 right now. What it should look like is Patrick Peterson starts at corner next to Levi Wallace, whoever in the slot. And I think a lot of these safety options could also play the slot. Brian Branch, Jamie Robinson, Anthony Johnson Jr., who already spoke to the Steelers during his pro day. You have options who are versatile. And then during the game, Patrick Peterson drops back. The safety, whether it's DeMonte KZ, who will likely play that third safety role, or a rookie, moves up into the slot. And then the first round pick moves to the outside. And now you have Levi Wallace, 2 rookies, Patrick Peterson, DeMonte KZ, and Minkah Fitzpatrick. And man, you could just see Mike Tomlin lick at his chops with a giant smile on his face as that is perfectly executed. And he finally has his defensive backfield that he's probably waited his entire career to have. Mike Tomlin has always been a secondary guy. He doesn't approach the secondary because he understands the defenses are built from the ground up. And by the ground up, I mean the front back. But man, he is probably so excited to have a defensive backfield that he feels could be dominant in the NFL. And you're telling me that just ideally, the Pittsburgh Steelers land Joey Porter Jr., they have Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace. I don't care what you say about Ahkello Witherspoon, but Ahkello Witherspoon coming off the bench, not a bad move. A slot guy, whether it's Jamie Robinson or Brown or whoever, who could drop back to safety, DeMonte KZ and Minkah Fitzpatrick. That's a deadly group. That's a very impressive group. And on paper, that group looks like the best secondary that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had since the single year that Joe Hayden, Steven Nelson, Mike Hilton, Terrell Edmonds, and Minkah Fitzpatrick absolutely went off. But besides that, nobody's come close to matching that group, at least on paper. You want to feel like there's other positions in the mix there. You want to feel like an offensive tackle is probably on their board. A defensive tackle should certainly be on their board. An inside linebacker, the Steelers have shown that they absolutely love inside linebackers. But when it was all said and done, the Steelers' love of a certain player or their interest at their pro day or the NFL combine or whatever does not match Mike Tomlin openly saying that he is excited about Patrick Peterson being able to mentor players or drop back to safety, or openly admitting that the Steelers are going to add a safety at some point during this offseason, and there are no more options in free agency. Unless the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go out and sign John Johnson III, the Steelers do not have a starter-capable option on the free agency market that they can go out and feel comfortable with to bring in here and be part of the mix. Mike Tomlin knew that he meant the NFL draft when he addressed that question. He knew that he had his eyes set on a second or third round safety to bring into Pittsburgh to play with DeMonte KZ and learn from Patrick Peterson. And he knew that at pick 17, he knows that at pick 17, if it's not Joey Porter Jr., then maybe it's Deonte Banks. If it's not Deonte Banks, then maybe it's Emmanuel Forbes. If it's not Emmanuel Forbes, maybe it's Devin Witherspoon. If it's not Devin Witherspoon, maybe it's Julius Brents. You don't know who it's going to be, but the Pittsburgh Steelers know that at 17, they want a corner. It is clear as day right now. And we've followed the trail, we followed the breadcrumbs, and they have taken us everywhere. The Steelers have shown their interest in so many positions and have been so strong in their interest in so many positions that following the recruiting trail, or the scouting trail, of the Pittsburgh Steelers this offseason has led us to so many different takes. And then all it took was Mike Tomlin coming to the mic and sitting down at breakfast and answering a couple questions and being very open about his plans for a very exciting player that came to the Pittsburgh Steelers in free agency. And then for the first time, we had so much clarity. We've had clarity before. We've had the hints dropped before, but never have we been this close to solving the puzzle. And I think for two positions, the Pittsburgh Steelers have given away just pretty much exactly where they're looking to draft them. And that they are most certainly looking to draft both of them with very high expectations for the future of both of these rookies.